Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another small, short YouTube video. This one hopefully won't last super long, but I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things. What's in front of me here is, and I apologize for the squawking bird in the background, but he picks the most inopportune times to decide he wants to put his 2 cents in. What I have here is a roll of standard 1956D cents rolled, plugged on one end, with the name, the Chase Manhattan Bank. I'll see if I can get that to, hopefully, yeah, you can probably see that. Never fails when I want it to focus, it decides it won't. Anyway, so it's the Chase Manhattan Bank on here. And what's so interesting about this roll is that it's a normal wrapped roll with a basically a diagonal seam. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because the rolls I'm going to show you next are different. So this is what most people are used to seeing with what they call an original bank wrapped roll. It has a seam that runs like this. If a roll doesn't have a seam that runs diagonal or in a V shape, it is a personal wrapped roll with rolls of paper that you can get at the dime store. And if you don't understand what that is, you can go back and look at a couple of my videos from the past and get a chance to see what I'm talking about. So with that being said, that's this roll. I want to make sure that I cover something kind of interesting here. So these three rolls that are right here are what are called Batdorf wrapped rolls. And what that means is there is a distinct V cut to the seam of the paper wrapper. And Batdorf was actually the name of the guy, the last name of the guy, that invented the coin wrapping machine back in 1915. His rolls of wrapping are the tightest, most compact rolls of wrapping there are. Rolls like this tend to be somewhat loose. You can actually pinch the ends. You can actually wind up seeing the dates on some. You can see how the roll actually elongates when I do that from that standpoint. Rolls that are Batdorf wrapped can't be pinched. They can't be elongated. They can't be anything. They're tight and snug. They hold the coins better than any other wrapping that I've ever found. Other than maybe a shrink wrap, if you want to call it such, which is new technology. So what's interesting about these three rolls right here, this is a 1942D Batdorf wrapped roll. It's one of the oldest wrapped rolls that I've ever seen of Batdorf wrapped. But the interesting part about it is the name of the bank that it's from, and it says Commerce Trust Company, Kansas City, Missouri. What's interesting about the roll right next to it is the same thing. It says Commerce Trust Company, Kansas City, Missouri, and you'll notice what's really cool about this, you've got it running at a slight diagonal on the roll, and almost 20 years later, 18 years later, whatever you want to call it, this one here is running at a diagonal as well, not quite as much of one, but is at a diagonal as well. So this one, this is a memorial cent roll. It's a 1960 something. I can't actually pinch it and see the date. But this is also the Commerce Trust Company, Kansas City, Missouri. So I have three rolls that span basically 20-some years, and all three rolls came from the same bank. So a lot of Batdorf wrapped rolls were wrapped by very large banks because they were the only ones that could actually afford the wrapping machine that was relatively expensive because it was such a good machine to be able to wrap these rolls. So other Batdorf wrapped rolls that I have, these two are 1952Ds. And they say on them, First National Bank of Jersey City. I know it's backwards in the camera, and welcome to the world of technology. I haven't quite figured out how to do that. I do have a new camera ordered, though. So these are both that. Here's a 1950 8P, that is the First Pennsylvania Banking and Trust Company. And again, I apologize that the camera has decided it doesn't want to get me to focus. Anyway, so there's that one. Now, this one's a cute little roll. Believe it or not, this is a half roll of coins. It's 1958 D, and this one is a Batdorf wrapped half roll. And these are incredibly rare. And by incredibly rare, I've only ever seen 3. I own 2 of the 3 I've ever seen. So they are absolutely, without a doubt, one of the most rare things I've ever seen in my entire life. And this one here is a 1943P roll, which says the Continental Bank and Trust Company of New York. So I have 2 rolls that I'm going to open in a minute on film. One is a Batdorf wrapped roll from the Syracuse Trust Company in Syracuse, New York. That is Batdorf wrapped of a 1946P, and you'll notice that the writing on it is in fountain pen, which is incredibly cool. It is very old, and obviously, without a doubt, very original. This is about as an original roll as it gets, so I'm really hoping that these coins are very, very pretty. Batdorf wrapped rolls too, just so you're aware. I'll see if I can get the camera to there. Let's do it this way, because I know that'll work. There we go. Batdorf wrapped rolls are also known for scratching the end coins as they go around the wrapper, because they weren't really in the process of trying to protect the coins. They were just in the process of trying to put them into nice, neat little packages for commerce. So these little scratch marks are very, very common on Batdorf wrapped rolls and very uncommon on other wrapped rolls, because the other wrapped rolls tend to be very loose in terms of their wrapping, and very bulky and heavy in terms of their wrapping. And again, I apologize that I'm having such a difficult time. I've put my camera in a new position here in order to try something new, and obviously it has decided it wants to try and just mess with me all night. So anyway, I'm going to open this one, which is a 46P, and I'm going to also open this one, which is a 19, I believe it's a 19, I can't even remember now, because it's a tails roll, so I don't even remember what it is, and I apologize for that. That's what happens when you get old. So anyway, we'll figure this one out. It's a 1950 something roll, but it is also a Batdorf wrapped roll from the Pennsylvania Company in Philadelphia. So there you go. Hopefully we'll see you back in a few minutes.